How do you know when we're live? Oh, now I am live. Day 3, Wednesday, big day. Camps, and more camps. Actually, listened to some podcasts about camps today. Got me pretty jacked up to visit my own Minnesota Vikings here soon, which I think maybe this weekend. I don't know. It's funny how I haven't even checked. Couple of hot topics. Nothing positive today. Just really talking shit about teams that we don't think are going to be good this year. Maybe some fade prices. Um, Live here from an office. I'm actually have pegged my phone to a bulletin board with just pins. So falls down midstream here. That is nothing but my own fault. Whale will be joining me soon. He has his own team to pick on. I will be talking shit about the Seattle Seahawks. It's kind of a theme right now is people not reporting for camp. And Earl Thomas, straight up, he wants more money. He wants out. He wants a trade. The Cowboys shit, that hasn't really materialized in anything. They started talking. The reports are now, yeah, they haven't said anything since the draft. Is that you just walking now, Will? Where are you at? Are you going to go to the loud place with all the people in the
I'm
park
hoping I
again?
found a quieter place today, but we'll see,
Yeah,
man.
Jesus.
How you
Yeah, that
doing?
sucked. Good. Yeah, I'm just looking. Even the best part about this bulletin board is I made a notes and then I just stuck them there. It's like so if I'm looking over here, it's because I can't remember everything I wrote down.
Yeah. So
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
Earl
yeah,
Thomas was a no-show today.
the years of the years of leaving done and over with. You know, Sherman Chancellor. I mean, there was other guys that filled, but it was Sherman Chancellor Thomas were the mainstays of that. Remember Brandon Browner?
Yeah. Oh,
Good. Back in the,
that.
oh, I suppose, yeah, he
Dude,
played for the
he's still in the
Patriots.
news. He's still in
Yeah,
the
I
news.
know.
He would.
Yeah, no
You
shit.
don't want to. Don't go unless
Yeah,
you probably
yeah.
should
Let's
know
not talk
what he's
about
up
him,
to, but
but
he's not up to anything good.
yeah, this is. I mean, the years. It'd be interesting. This is a stat. I should always do this. Come up with a stat I don't know that we have to look up later and talk about it on a live video podcast. But I mean, how many years in a row do you think Seattle is the betting favorite to win the division?
At least 5.
Five,
Um,
six, yeah, somewhere in there. I mean, because
yeah.
2012, 13, 14, I mean, they were, and they've always,
The
I
first
mean,
year, the first year
Arizona,
Russell
a nice team
Wilson.
if you, yeah.
The first year Russell Wilson was a rookie. They probably weren't favored, and
No.
uh,
You mean the Matt Flynn year?
the Matt Flynn year
Yeah.
when they started out and they thought it was going to be Matt Flynn. But yeah, I mean the Legion and Boom, what the hell? It's completely lost. It's completely blown up. Did you see the list of who they're paying what versus who's on their roster that was floating around? They have
Yeah.
money. They
No,
owe
you go
money.
to look, what's the name of the website?
35 million of their cap. I can't remember the cap website, but 35 million of their cap currently, um, including Thomas's what's owed to Thomas, and he
See,
wants more money, obviously. But all of that 35 million set aside for players that currently are not in camp, and most of them will not be on the field. Michael Bennett, you mentioned them all. Richard Sherman. Jeremy Lane, Earl Thomas. It's a sad state of affairs in Seattle, and you know, the way it's stacking up, they kind of just they look like they're about to, take on pretty much a rebuilding exercise here, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
you see the casting couch over my shoulder there? I didn't
Lovely,
realize
huh?
I got the shot. Yeah, things have happened there. Yeah, just looking, and this is another one. I'm going to look historically back at what they opened for over unders on win totals the last few years, but it's kind of stuck in between 7.5 and 8 right now at 5 dimes. If you want to go over 8, it's plus money. If you want to go under 7.5, it's plus money. So it's kind of stuck at 7.75, if you want to call it that. They're plus 540 to be a wild card team, plus 4.25 to win the division. Third favorite, by the way, behind the Rams and the Niners, the hype Niners, and
Yeah.
then just make the playoffs or not. Plus 225 in the playoffs. So when's the last time you get Seattle at plus money to make the playoffs? And I'm not saying bet that. I don't. I am not all about them. I thought the glaring. I mean, we're talking about the defense that's unprecedented for years. What they were able to put together, and they got their championship.
Yeah.
But Now that's not even the biggest glaring problem. It's the offensive line that
Right, right.
they addressed by drafting a running back and trading up for a punter. Which is like
Yeah.
the emoji with the teeth are like, yeah, that was
Ooh.
super surprising. Like, what the fuck are you
Ooh.
doing? Which I
Yeah.
maybe, to be fair, maybe the punter thing was a good idea. Like, you were gonna need him. You're
Who
gonna
do they
need
got
him this
left?
year.
Who do they have left on defense at this point? The two kind of all universe
Yeah, no,
linebackers
the
still.
linebackers are great.
KJ Red and Mel. Who's the other guy? Smith? No. Who's
Bobby
Bobby Wagner? That's right. Thank you.
Bobby Wagner. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah. They're
he's
still on
great.
the
Oh,
roster.
he's great. I
Okay,
think so. I don't know. I just
interesting.
was looking at a lot of Earl Thomas stuff today. He was the highest paid when he got this extension or contract or whatever. I think he fell down to fourth, fifth, sixth, somewhere in there as far as highest paid safeties.
Yeah,
He wants his
yeah,
money. I mean, that's the story of the offseason. Julio, Le'Veon, Earl, everybody
yeah.
wants the money. And I hate people that like shit on these guys because
Oh, yes, the worst.
it's what
They don't
I
have
mean,
guaranteed contracts.
you're putting your body out there.
Yeah, if you're a player and you have any leverage, it is you owe it to yourself to use that leverage to get paid as much as you can when you can at this point.
Yeah.
And the fans who are out there telling these guys you signed a contract, show up and play, I don't understand it. I really don't. I really don't know why anyone would sign with the NFL owners at this point, who rake in so much cash with put so little back into the sport. It's really
Yeah,
sad.
you can say that you signed a contract, you should have to honor it, but it's not the other way around. No one acts an owner, be like, hey, you signed a contract, you should pay that guy who
Yeah,
ended
right.
his career ended.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that's just
And
not how it works. So,
yeah,
they have a responsibility to their union,
yeah,
and if a guy doesn't get paid what he's worth, it affects every single contract. Maybe not every single contract, but at least at his position group. Like there, you set precedent, you set watermarks when you sign a contract. So
yeah.
either way, I will be looking. I've got a parlay of a few teams I don't like this year that I've just put some big minus numbers at to not win the division. So I think I threw in my four teams that I hate the most to not win the division and got like a 4-1 parlay. And
What are the
I'll post that if I can
chances?
find it. And Seattle made the
I'm
cut.
Yeah. Okay. I love this. Okay. So, what are two topics to kind of elaborate on this that you brought up? One is the safety market. There's a lot of good safeties out there who are free agents who still haven't been signed. So that doesn't necessarily help Earl Thomas really at all in terms of leverage, because that's tougher to negotiate when there's just guys out there that can be brought in to replace you. And second question, I guess I have: what would be a good fit? Do they need to come up with a trade for him? I thought they should have traded him during the draft personally and gone full on rebuild. I don't really know
Yeah,
why
I
they
think
didn't.
it's.
What's a good
I
fit for
mean,
him? Where should they ship him?
it's the same as a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of places, but you're right. I have no idea without really looking into it a little as far as who has the biggest need and would pay for him. You want to get the most, but they should have done it at the draft. I think they're going to get less value no matter what, unless there's some sort of injury during camp or something, and somebody's need goes from here to here, and then they have to pay out of the nose. But
What do you
you
think,
know,
Dallas Cowboy?
who you that's the biggest rumor.
Yeah, I would
That
love to
was
see that.
that
I
was
heard he also
who
wanted
ever
to be a Raider, right?
yeah, that's who. There was talk. There was talk at the draft. I guess the two teams, but some of the reports that came out today said they haven't talked since. So anyway,
Second question is
dating the Seahawks.
if you saw the Seahawks at let's say they were plus 200 to finish fourth in the NFC West, is that enough of a price to take a shot on it, or does it need to be higher?
No, boy, Suma has really got me shitting on Arizona. I mean, I liked him a little bit about a month ago, and oh, I think I'd need a little more than that. Plus
There's
250, 300.
there's so many unknown quantities with Arizona, with the new coaching
Very much
staff
so.
and with the
Well, and yeah,
who's going to be their quarterback, all this
you
stuff.
could have Pro Bowl Bradford, or you could have maybe plays 35 minutes of a season Bradford. So,
Yeah.
who are you going to shit on?
So I want to talk about the nightmare offseason that went a little bit under the radar for the Carolina Panthers. They got a new owner, He doesn't necessarily inspire a lot of confidence that he knows what he's doing as it relates to football. I was really, really hopeful that they would get rid of. I think they had Mike Shula, was he play calling last year for them, offensive coordinator. I was really hopeful that they would move on from their old kind of pretty out of touch approach to calling offense, since they have one of the most dynamic playmakers and just an unbelievable force at the quarterback position in Cam Newton.
Oh, what the
Get some more creative play calling in here. Upgrade your passing game in the offseason. Make this team contender. Upgrade the two things that they desperately needed to upgrade most were their receiving game weapons and their their passing defensive personnel. They did neither of those. They got rid of their offensive coordinator, which at first I was psyched about, but then they replaced him with Norv freaking Turner, and I was like, it's like you guys needed to bring your offense into the 21st century. And so what did they do? They got a guy who hasn't run an effective offense since he was the Cowboys offensive coordinator in 1993. I fear for the health of Cam Newton. I don't know what exactly, kind of ridiculous offense they're going to try to run here, but I know that they're going to put him in, pretty perilous situations. And lo and behold, their one particularly outstanding piece on their offensive line, Andrew Newell, he walked away. He's a Jacksonville Jaguar now. So you're going to have a lot of, and there are some darn good defensive tackles in division in the NFC South. Cam Newton is going to be feeling the heat early and often this season, especially in divisional play. And I could not be more bearish on the Panthers overall. Their season outlook, I'm not loving it. They start out their season relatively easy. First 3 weeks, they could probably get 2 or 3 wins if everybody's healthy through the preseason. But then they get their bye week 4. They come out, they play the Giants. Again, they should get that win. And then the shit hits the fan. And they just have a murderer's row through the middle of the season. And if they're running uninspired offense and Cam Newton is taking shots to the head, and, who knows what you can count on in terms of how many games you're going to get out of Luke Kuechly. All these things just spell disaster for me. And so I'm not sure the totally, the best way to attack this, if it's to get an alternate wins under on this team. But as you look back through the last couple of years, even, they went to the Super Bowl, then they came out, they had the Super Bowl hangover after losing to the Broncos. They way undershot their win total 2 years ago. There was lots of signs, Pythagorean regression, back to the mean, all sorts of stuff that was indicating they were going to bounce back last year relative to their previous underachievement. They did that. I think we see now something like the 25th-ish best roster overall, with the coaching staff that just inspires no confidence on either side of the ball. And sign me up for team total under on the Panthers. And really week 6 through week 12, I'm going to fade them, depending on the lines, obviously. I'm going to fade them often in that stretch, because it's just a murderer's row, and they're going to have a very, very, very tough time coming up with wins this season. So I'm cold.
Yeah, if I were Cam, maybe about week 7 or something, if he's getting the shit hit out of him, might make a business decision. Maybe he can get one of those Kawhi Leonard quad injuries that lasts 3 years or however long, and just, I'm not feeling good, coach. We're 3-4. This isn't great. I'll be over here.
Yeah,
I'll be over here with the clipboard. Can you name the backup? Is it Derek Anderson? Who's the backup?
Yeah, probably. He was the backup last year. I assume he's still there. I don't know, man. It's not. I would pull the Andrew Luck or the Kawhi Leonard. I'm not right.
Yeah.
Don't put me in.
I'll
see you in 2019. I'll see you in 2019, guys.
I think they made the parlay. I think they made the don't win the division parlay.
You know what the funniest of all was? Did you see the story that floated around yesterday about the Panthers and their offensive approach? that Ron Rivera wants to give
yeah.
Christian McCaffrey
Super good
200
idea.
carries.
Yeah, he
Christian
won't break.
McCaffrey? No. Oh, no. Especially, behind the line that, you just
Yeah.
lost your most effective run blocker. Oh, yeah, no, this should go very well. I think McCaffrey had about 115-ish carries last year, ran for about
That's
400
plenty.
yards. So, yeah, let's give him 200 carries. That's a great fit. And I mean, they were resistant to really adapting to, like, particularly awesome new thinking offensive schemes last year, with the exception of how they used McCaffrey in the passing game, and why they would now all of a sudden go away from that and put him in a more traditional running back role when he doesn't have the body for it. He doesn't have the skill set for it. I just don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. And maybe it's all baloney. And if they come out and shock the world, maybe if they shock the world the first couple of weeks of the season and they have this whole, dynamic offensive approach going, then I might change my tune. I would put Cam Newton in the upper echelon of quarterbacks playing in the league right now. But they didn't give him any help. He still has no wide receiver help. He still has, they drafted DJ Moore out of Maryland. He's fast, but whether he's not going to be able to just all of a sudden know how to do a full NFL level route tree. They're just going to probably give him the Ted Ginn treatment. So
it's funny you brought up the Panthers and route tree. It just made me think of that when he laughed at the female reporter about route trees, which is
that was completely organic and unintentional. I did not.
I know. I still, to that. I learned a route tree in like 7th grade, football when we this is homework for the week.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe DJ Moore emerges and he's good, but I'm not optimistic at all. You got Greg Olsen. He's a year older. He's secretly kind of been the straw that stirs the drink there in Carolina.
He's going to be great in the booth.
He's going to be great. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to him announcing. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for his next phase. But I'm not optimistic that we see particularly good play out of him this year. So that's all I got on the Panthers. Down on the Panthers.
So there's a couple teams we hate.
Do better next year, guys.
Yeah, day one we talk about our Vikings and our Patriots, and then we're just gonna we'll go through each team and tell you why they suck for the next few weeks here.
Do you want to catch people up who may have not had a chance to listen to the deep dive we did yesterday, and I'll head in and shut this thing down?
Yeah, no, recorded a great deep dive. I wish I could remember his Twitter ad. It's going to be in the tweet that Whale sent, but Alex Bartlett, he was a real good get for us last night. We had a great conversation. It sounded very conversational because it got off into tangents very quickly, almost like we were just talking in the bar. But it was what was it? New Year's in August. Some resolutions we had for things that I don't want to say we sucked at, but things we wanted to get better at going into this NFL season as far as gambling. And there was a lot of good stuff on there. I've already had a couple comments from some people as far as some things that they want to hit on. There's somebody calling about it right now. I should have put that phone out. Check that out. The deep dive with Andy the Whale. You can find that iTunes, Stitcher, podcast apps, anywhere you can find that. That phone is just really throwing me off my game right now. As always, follow us on Twitter. We'll do this every day. Subscribe on YouTube. If you like it, maybe I'm still not 100% sure you can rate something on YouTube. I never have, but do that if you want. Otherwise, the deep dive is live. That was a real good one last night. It might give you some good ideas for some improvements you could make on your handicapping for the NFL this fall. And other than that, we'll see you tomorrow.